Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Hill. I'm a doctoral student in information science at the University of Carolina in Chapel Hill. In this video, I will give you a brief introduction to XML. We'll start by covering some of the basic rules of XML. Every document must be structured as a tree, in which all elements are contained within a single root element. Every element must have a closing tag. Most elements will have an opening tag and a corresponding closing tag. The only difference between a closing and opening tag is the / at the beginning of the closing tag, after the initial less than angle bracket. There are empty tags as well. They are called empty because they don't contain any text. These tags simply mark a place in the text at which something should be inserted. For example, a page number or image file. Elements must be properly nested. In this example, the child element is completely nested inside of the root element. If, on the other hand, the opening root tag were to be followed by the child tag, and then the closing root tag, and then the closing child tag, this would be considered invalid because the child element wouldn't be completely nested inside of the root element. XML elements are case sensitive. In this example, these three instances of the word name would be treated as different tags because of the capitalization. Elements can also have attributes and values. The format for expressing them is the name of the attribute inside of the opening element tag, followed by an equal sign, and the value surrounded by quotation marks. Let's take a closer look at elements' attributes and values. Elements should be short descriptive names inside of angle brackets. Each element must have a closing tag. Attributes contain metadata about the element. They're the key in the key value pair. In the example on the right, file is an attribute. Attribute values are enclosed in quotation marks. They're the value in the key value pair. In the example on the right, selfie.jpg is a value. This key value pair expresses metadata about the image element. It tells us that there's a file and that file is named selfie.jpg. Now let's take a look at some things every XML document must have and some important points to bear in mind when writing an XML document. Everything in an XML document must be nested in a single root element. Each element must have a closing tag. You have to remember that XML is case sensitive. Element names must begin with a letter, underscore, or colon. However, the letters XML are reserved and cannot be used to begin an element name. Although there are no requirements to choose meaningful names, it's considered good form to choose short descriptive names. Colons, hyphens, and periods are not invalid, but it is best to avoid using them as they may cause confusion later. The rules for naming child elements are the same as those governing the root element. You can nest as many elements as you like, but each child element must be completely contained by the parent element. The same naming rules apply to attributes. Values must be in a single or double quotes. Attributes should contain metadata, not the actual content. Insert comments to avoid confusion. Comments should be used for reminders and communication between collaborators. You may not use a double hyphen within a comment or nest comments. Comments can also be used to hide a section of your code from the parser during development. CData stands for unparsed character data. The parser will treat any elements found within these tags as text. These tags are used to write about the elements without having them actually parsed by the parser. And finally, There are 5 special symbols in XML. Predefined entities exist because these characters have special meanings in XML, and typing them directly could cause confusion for the parser. For example, if you were to use a less than angle bracket for something other than the start of an element, the parser could mistakenly interpret it as an invalid element. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was a useful introduction to XML. Those interested in exploring the subject in more detail may wish to consult the Visual Quick Start Guide to XML